It's the Redirect Podcast, search industry research, discussion, and analysis from the Black Truck Media and Marketing Headquarters. And now, redirecting you to the Black Truck team.
Welcome to episode 19 of the Redirect Podcast. It's Friday, October 13th, 2017. I'm Jason Dodge, founder of Black Truck Media and Marketing, joined once again by the entire team, actually. Ashley and Patrick is back this week. So welcome back, Patrick.
Good to be here.
Traveling to our nation's capital, taking in all the sights and sounds.
Yeah, I took my 5-year-old and 3-year-old and my wife in the car and left at 4 in the morning and made it to Washington, D.C. by 3 o'clock. It wasn't too bad.
Dang.
It really wasn't bad. We handled it all well. We did one long stop, one short stop, and
Awesome.
everyone cooperated.
Good. There, now you get the humanistic side of Black Truck and not just all work. So
we see things and do things. We're not just a podcast.
all right, Pat. So you got lead off here today.
I'll jump off here. So I grabbed an article that was published a couple days ago, the 10th. Search engine land, and Apple has just announced that they're expanding their search ads into Canada, Mexico, and Switzerland, and that caught my eyes. Like, what search ads? And I looked into it a little bit further, and it's in their app store.
So it is in-app.
In App Store. It's ads in the App Store.
Okay.
And I didn't know much about those. I've seen them. I know you and I have had brief offline conversations about that, and just did a little bit digging because I know that I've toyed myself with ads via Etsy and the online marketplace, and I wanted to see how it worked here. I thought it was kind of interesting that if you jump into it, Apple will throw $100 credit at you.
Nice.
But again, that means you have to have an app that you're selling. This is outside our wheelhouse because we don't really have any clients right now that are touting an app.
No, we've done in any work that we've done in that space really has been more ASO, App Store Optimization, or app optimization, which is a whole other it's a whole other talking point in and of itself. And I think we actually even learned a lot in a couple of the scenarios we went through there. So this is primarily what you're saying is advertising an app.
Yeah,
so it's in App Store advertising for promoting an app.
Yeah, so think about it like AdWords in your SERP, except there's only one ad.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you can own the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one ad at the top.
Yep.
And you'd have no control over the content of the ad. You bid on keywords only, and there's some other metrics that you can work on, like your audience and whatnot.
But you can't do exclusions of content type like you would even in the display network.
No
in
creative,
Google.
No creative allowed. It's all based. The ad itself is written based off of what it's pulling off of the app listing.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Which we also know as a sidebar, your app listing is not something you have to set and forget. So if you're looking for a little hack item there, you can update the title of your app if you want it to appear for certain things. That's not something static. You can go ahead and modify that, but I'll digress. So that's a way to hack that ad system too.
There you go. That's a good point. So it linked. So it was a brief article, only saying that it's expanded into these other countries, and it linked to a more in-depth review that was also on Search Engine Land that was published back at the beginning of August. And so I read through that, and it was based on the UK. It had been available out there. It's been out there for, at the time this was written, 5 months. And it broke it down a little bit more about click-through rates, cost per click, they call it CPT, cost per tap, which I think is Apple speak. It's their own terminology because they've got to be Apple.
What kind of revenue is Apple generating from their ad platform? Does anybody disclose it all?
It didn't get into that. I didn't go that far down the wormhole. But the thought was kind of interesting is that 30% of people that download your app then delete the app. So they're losing out on chances for further revenue for in-app purchases. It was really kind of interesting. I think the article was written by somebody who is a company that might focus on app-based platform businesses, and so it made it sound like one of the lines in here was that mobile browsers are dead. I read that line, and I thought that was kind of silly.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
Because I'm sorry that I'm not pulling out the actual quote here, but
That's a great one to pick apart. Let's
yeah,
go.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, 90% of time on mobile devices is spent within apps. So that means only 10% of the time you're using, like, for example, on Apple Safari.
So 90% of the, so what that means is 90% of the time spent in app, which means 90% of your in-app time is spent wasting it on Facebook.
Well, you know, if you get down to the nitty-gritty, it's look at every single different thing you're using on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
This is everything except for Safari or Chrome. You know, it's all those things. But that doesn't account for the fact that your your display ads are still marketing in these places.
Yeah, no, and I mean, think about it. You've got even if so, I'm an Android user. You guys are I'm going to say I'm the token Android user. You guys are the full Apple product. You know, so what do I mostly use? And let's take a poll. So I mostly use Gmail app, Instagram app, Facebook app, Messenger from time to time, in Google Hangouts. So primarily the Google suite of app products,
right?
And then Chrome. Certainly, I'm doing research and things like that. But I would say I guess I'm primarily doing in-app work. I suppose.
Right.
What about you guys?
Yeah, I would say social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, where you guys are the Twitter people, I'm over on the Reddit side. So I use Reddit, Instagram, Facebook. I use the Apple News a lot. That's my newspaper, and I read the newspaper a lot. So I use the Apple News quite a bit. And then the Google app, which can be mistaken for browser, but it's not a browser, it's an app.
Interesting.
Yeah, but most of those can be remarketed to via AdWords or Facebook ads. You know, Facebook covers Facebook and Instagram. You know, it's not. It was written skewed, and I thought it was interesting. Not knocking that industry at all. It's a place for it, and again, this article gets a little bit more in depth, and it was more of an education process for me, and I wanted to just kind of touch on that and have that quick surface level conversation with you guys about it. And it's a whole different area that we're not really playing with at all.
Yeah, it's not really a space that we play for, but
because it's a different market, and I feel it pointed out some flaws and some positives, and the different elements that you can do with it. And app, I think that's relevant to say that 30% of apps that get downloaded get deleted because you're done with them. I know I'm guilty of that. I'll temporarily use an app for different functions or events or to get a promotion of some sort.
Yep.
Or it turns out to just not do what I thought it was going to do, and it's out the door.
Yeah, and I know from an app store perspective, I know Apple generates a significant amount of money through their app store. I think Quick Search 2016 revenue tops $28 billion.
Wow.
In their app store. I would be curious what their advertising revenue is that comes out of that too.
Another thing I thought was interesting too is you can build a remarketing audience through something called iTunes Connect. So if you use your iTunes account, and your iTunes account is also going to be tied to your Apple Store account, then you can build remarketing. So then you can remarket it with ads on through iTunes.
So remarket your services inside of iTunes then, so not just app.
Right.
Not just app remarketing. Fascinating. That's good. Cool. I like that little shift from the normal discussion of search, but very, very much related.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I was trying to find a segue, and there was one at one point, and then I lost it. But my little topic for today is one that we've visited multiple times before on the podcast. So smart speakers, smart devices. There is a new report that came out from NPR and Edison Research. So they surveyed over 1,600 people. About half of them were not smart device owners, and about 800 are owners. They own at least one Google Home or one Amazon Alexa. Let's see. So most of those surveyed who owned a device had an Alexa. 76% had Alexa only. 16% had Google Home only. And 8% owned both. I thought that was pretty interesting. And I think, I didn't jot down the stat, but I think it was like 18% of device owners had 3 or more of the devices, which is crazy.
Oh, interesting.
And so they even
like super users.
Yeah, so this report even broke it down, like, what rooms do you have a device in? Where is your main device? What room is it in? That sort of thing. So it got pretty detailed. I was hoping that it would have a little more information specifically about search. Not so much, but so it broke down people's degree of use on a scale from heavy, which they categorize as 11 or more regular tasks performed with the device, and then light would be 0 to 1 regular tasks, and then they measured what people use the devices for the most. So let's see. Respondents indicated they used their devices most for music, 91%, weather, 90%, and then the next biggest category was asking a general question, which is where I think the web search function comes in, and that's 88%. Then there were other things like controlling devices, checking the news or time, checking the traffic, and then like personal assistant functions like adding something to your calendar or a shopping list, that sort of thing.
So the personal assistant was lower on the list. Interesting.
Yeah. So they asked what was a reason that you wanted a smart speaker, and 87% of people said to ask questions without needing to type. So I think that's tying in the search function here too. Of course, not everything that you ask a device is going to be related to web search, but I would say probably a lot of it is.
Yeah.
And then other reasons were to hear better music than what's on the radio, and then to replace an old stereo and radio. And there were some other stats related to audio. Let's see. 70% of respondents said they're listening to more audio since getting the speaker. So, I mean, this is getting away from search a little bit, but if you're the kind of person who does like Pandora ads or something like that, this is money, right? And then going along with other behaviors, 57% have ordered an item through their smart speaker.
What was that stat?
57%.
I would be really fascinated to sit in a room and watch somebody go through that process and try to understand.
Make a purchase.
To how they're going to go through and make a purchase with that. And exactly what app is it that is being utilized? Is it Amazon? Is it Google Shopping? And what are you buying that you're talking to your device with? Is it staple goods? Is it, I mean, you're certainly making some assumptions, but again, going back to like just my hunch of like, you're not buying a car, right? Like you're not buying super high end things, but
I can arrange that. The place I stayed over the weekend in DC, stayed with relatives out there. They're a smart home.
It would be interesting to see what their take is on it. Maybe we'll do a study on it.
It was a weekend experience, so it wasn't typical like weekly type chores and duties. It's a family with 3 children, wild and crazy. They have the main living area is a big living room, dining room, kitchen area, and on the kitchen island, which is kind of centralized, was the Echo.
Okay.
Or Alexa. It was the tall, skinny one.
But it was the Amazon product.
Yeah,
right?
I guess I should specify. So when I say Alexa for this report, they counted either whether it was the Dot or the Echo or whatever.
So in my experience there, it was a little bit of music when someone questioned, like, what was that one song that one time? And like, they would ask Alexa and they got it, never listening to the whole song. The second most popular use was to dim the lights. They had
with the connected home.
It's a new home. It's a newer home, so the light switches and everything is all tied in through the Wi-Fi system. And so they say, Alexa, kitchen lights 10%, and it would dim the lights. It was neat. It was neat, but I was there for 3 days and it was light usage.
I would be curious. I think the smart home usages, that's the part I'm most fascinated about, even being digitally driven. I'm not overly I'm not inclined to go and order anything by voice just yet.
Yeah.
I am very fascinated. I took part in the Google the products release because they just released a ton of the new products there. That was that 2 weeks ago, and with the mini device, I mean, it's super great price point at like $49.
It comes with the Pixel 2 now.
Yeah, or vice versa, probably.
Right.
Other way around. But the fact that Google owns Nest and the Nest Cam and things like that, and if you have multiple Nest Cams, and think about it like you're working in your office at home, and you're like, hey, okay, Google, who's at the front door, or whatever the name of the camera is, it can show it to you on your screen, show it to you on your phone or on your TV with Chromecast, or just simply telling the thing that it's time for bed. And it does. It brings all of your lights down, and it brings your thermostat down and everything. I'm very fascinated by that. I'm not a tin hat wearer,
Right.
but I mean, I'm a little skeptical from the security
Right.
side of things, and I think everybody is. But at the same time, I think we all, to some degree, turn a blind eye to it, agree on those terms and conditions, and just keep rolling like it's nobody's business. That's where I get into the whole buying behavior that I really want to know is like, what are you really buying? Like, is it reorder? Is it have shipped? Reorder milk?
If you're a big Prime user, I can see it being beneficial. I'm going to ask my sister-in-law if she purchases, and if she purchases, I'm going to ask her to use her phone to record a session of her making a purchase if it doesn't give away any valuable information. And if she would be interested in sending it to us, and then maybe we can
that'd be great.
Dissect it from there.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's good.
The report that I'm referring to touched on a lot of the topics that came up in the conversation just now. So I guess the thought that I'll leave you on is that 61% of smart speaker owners agree that having your smart speaker is like having someone to talk to.
Oh my God! What was that movie? What was the movie that came out
with Joaquin?
I mean, what a great role for Joaquin Phoenix, but
groundbreaking. It was groundbreaking.
So,
Who was the actress?
Oh, I don't know. We're going way off topic at that
Scarlett.
point, but
They wouldn't let her be nominated for an Oscar because she wasn't actually in the film.
Oh, that'll change too.
Yeah.
That'll change eventually.
All right.
I'm moving on.
Moving on. So I'm gonna bring this one back to something that we touched on last week. Patrick, you weren't here, and it was really kind of fresh news. The change that Google put into effect on the AdWords side of things. So Google AdWords put into effect. It was October 4th. On the fact that they were going to spend up to 2 times your daily ad budget, 2 times your budget, and impact. So I wanted to make sure that since that was really fresh, kind of at the time of our recording our last podcast, I really didn't get time to kind of maybe deep dive into it, and I don't think the industry did, and it's very easy to make knee-jerk reactions and get really pissed and be like, damn Google, what are you doing again to us, especially in the PPC world, imposing something on us and not being prepared for it. But so the change went into effect October 4th, and I think it's good to remember, like, there's absolutely no opting out of this, right? So we're just automatically thrusted into it. It is, however, completely from at least my perspective, and I think there's others that share this same thought, that it's totally a play on the increased use of machine learning. This is 100% an increased use of machine learning in their processes. So early on, it's very easy to play like armchair quarterback and sit here and be like, that's not the play I would make, and all they want to do is spend more money, and it adds to their bottom line. Okay, it's very easy to say that, but then let's take a step back and think about the machine learning aspect of it. And if let's say 4 out of the 7 days are very highly trafficked, why wouldn't you, as a PPC manager, want to try and capitalize on that and want to take advantage of that and try and spend as much as possible and stay in front of your audience, especially if it was things like, if you were a roof repair company and there was a massive storm that happened, and you have an evergreen campaign that's going around, roof repair or storm damage, and all of a sudden that's that hot ticket item, and those are hot searches. And yeah, so what? It doubles that daily budget, but man, that doubling down really did good impact as regards to your brand and potentially leads. So that all said, Search Engine Land did come out with a really great explainer article. I think they have probably one of the best ones out there. I'm still waiting. I think WordStream will probably update their posts. I'm waiting for like the folks at Hannapin Marketing with PPC Hero and stuff to kind of really give their take on it too. I've been monitoring conversations from the PPC chat on Twitter, but top points is that really what this does, and Search Engine Land does a good job at outlining it, we'll link to it, is it's really aimed at accounting for those daily fluctuations that I just talked about. So if your ads aren't showing up because of low traffic, then they're going to make up for that by showing them more when the traffic is higher. So if 4 out of those 7 days that traffic's higher, let's rock and roll and really hammer on those. If those other days are low, we're not going to show it. There's concerns with that. So previously, Google had the overspend threshold of 20%, so we could go 20% up, down. And we've seen that. We've seen campaigns on a daily basis where they will underspend easily, sometimes well over 20%, and then we'll see it go the other direction the next day. So that's a really valid point. Campaigns that run continuously throughout the month, so no daily budget changes, basically saying that an advertiser will not be charged more than the monthly budget limit. So it's your daily budget times 30.4 days in a month. Yeah. That's your average. If the campaign does exceed the monthly budget, you'll be credited for those over deliveries at the end of the month.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a little bit kind of like putting taxes in escrow. I'm paying into it so that you can manage it. And then, I have a little bit of an issue with that, but, as long as I'm getting credit for that, I suppose.
Credited over that potential...
Over that month, yeah.
20% of fluff?
No. 2 times your daily spend, right? So campaigns that do not run over an entire month, advertisers will be responsible for paying for that over delivery. So while Google says this is highly unlikely that it actually happened, that's going to be the one that I want to come back to and we'll talk about here in a minute. But in addition to changing your daily budget, so if we go in as a PPC manager and you change your daily budget spend, there are 3 other changes that can trigger the monthly budget limit to reset. Mind you, I'm talking about monthly budget here, not 2 times the daily spend, right? That's changing the campaign end date, so if you bump that out, changing the ad delivery mode, or choosing a different time zone for the AdWords account. Those can all throw things into a little bit of flux. So Search Engine Land did a great job at mapping out, I think there's 4 or 6 different scenarios, like an evergreen campaign that's always running, that has updated budgets and it's continuous. But the biggest impact is really on those short-term campaigns, really quick sprint. We're going to spend $10,000 inside of 2 weeks and really hammer this out. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be the most impacted because it's 2 times the daily spend, when in essence we're focusing as what's our total nut that we're trying to crack in that time period.
Yeah.
You're going to be on the hook for that 2 times spend, so you really have to watch it. So those are the campaigns that you really have to watch. And as a PPC manager, when you're working to set that up, you're pacing it out in accordance with whatever that budget is. But Google's going to view it as the monthly allocation, meaning they're going to take liberty and bump that up 2 times if they need to. So, one solution totally for the advertisers say, well, I'm gonna bid that. I'm gonna go half that budget because I know Google's going to spend it 2 times. Well,
it's not the case.
It's not the case, and you could shoot yourself in the foot because if in that 2-week sprint of the month that's weak time and that's low budget. Or low impression, low performance, then you're not going to get the run out of it.
Or your content isn't as strong as it could be, so therefore it's not getting the impression share.
Exactly. So I think there's still so much to be to be learned from this.
I'm going to keep an eye out on our campaigns and see if we see it happen somewhere. And then when we do see it happen, I really want to dig into it and study it and see what happened.
Yeah, I have not seen where it where it's come up yet. I went through and kind of audited at a broad stroke, top level perspective all of our campaigns. I didn't see anything since the 4th that made me believe like, ooh, that's up 2 times.
Yeah.
Or, ooh, that's a significant
and it's rolled out at this point?
Yeah, it was immediate.
Okay.
You know, the big thing is that Google maybe didn't announce it as nicely and in typical Google fashion, much like the AdWords updates. Like, support, there isn't support for the new AdWords layout. I mean, there's still support documentation. Pat and I were talking about it earlier that dates back to like 2012 or 2015. Like, come on, Google, can you help us out here? So it's interesting to see if things like campaign total budget will roll out, because we know that that's available in video campaigns only. So if you've got a fixed start and a fixed end date, there's a campaign total budget that you can set. I'm kind of with the author of this article here, Ginny Marvin. That would be great to see that rolled out across all different campaign types, to be able to say if we started on this date and we started on and ended on this date, that this is our total budget that we need to spend. And then totally Google, if you want to spend 2 times that between start and end date on a daily basis, then fine, because that's what your machine is saying. But
the machine is also saying that if you're going to qualify for this double spend, that means that it's going to be a quality double spend for you.
You would hope, right? I mean, because as PPC managers, that's really our job, is making sure that we're making obviously the most efficient, effective use of those ad dollars, because we can. There's no other advertising medium out there that's going to allow for that. But the last thing you want to do, whether you're in-house or agency side, is go to your boss and be like, yeah, so that budget, we spent that by 2 times. That's not just like, 5%, even 10%. Like, if you came to me and you're like, yeah, we spent double that budget, I'd be like, you did what?
Yeah, you're given $2,000 to spend. Like, because I'm gonna spend $4,000.
Yeah, I would be really, really, I'd be really concerned with that. So that stuff's still gonna roll out, and I think Google did update a Q&A section. We'll make sure we link to that here. So if you are in the AdWords space, by all means check that out. So it's going to get interesting. The ever-changing landscape. So with that, I think we'll end this episode of the Redirect Podcast. Until next time, good luck and carry on.
This has been the Redirect Podcast. Check out the show notes at blacktruckmedia.com and add us on iTunes and Stitcher.